People seem to have forgotten just how dangerous Viktor Gyokeres really is, the striker who scored 54 goals and delivered 13 assists last season. The forward who doesn't ask for permission to dominate defenders. This is not the same Viktor Gyokeres people doubted when he arrived at Arsenal.
And he did not have the space that he had. And obviously, he didn't take the ball well here, nor there. Let it go. Next thing you know, pause. Go back. Here, there is no way, from what we saw from the halfway line, that you're going to put your hand on me to make sure that I'm not going to unleash and have a 1v1. He should have had a 1v1. You miss, but you should have had a...
This version is sharper, angrier, more ruthless, and built specifically for the Premier League. When he landed in London, the noise was loud, too physical, too chaotic, not clinical enough, not refined enough for Arteta's system.
Other side, Gyokeres running in, Gary Vivian coming back, and that's...
But while the debate kept growing, Gyokeres kept working in silence.
I disagree with a lot of people over this, and he's got a lot of criticism, a lot of it deserved as well. But they brought him in, and he's something different. And not all his goals are pretty. He shinned it against Leeds. Yesterday, he was falling over on one leg and scored it with the other. But the second goal was obviously he was in the right place to get the pass from Martinelli. He's got 6 goals in 8.
13 goals, 2 assists, and a growing sense of inevitability. In the Premier League alone, he already has 8 goals, a solid return for any newcomer, but the real story is his momentum. 6 goals and 2 assists in his last 8 matches across the Premier League. Europe, and domestic cups. Different competitions, same outcome, fear. And here's where it gets uncomfortable for the rest of the league. Gyokeres is just 3 goals away from breaking the striker record under Mikel Arteta, a mark previously held by Aubameyang and Havertz. Arsenal paid around £60 million for him, far less than Isak or Šeško, yet Gyokeres is giving them exactly what they were missing: presence, power, pressure, and goals when the air gets thin. Arteta sees it, defences feel it, and the Premier League is starting to understand that this striker is not warming up anymore. You still think this is normal? You still think this is just a good run? Take a look at this.
I love his character, the way he approaches every single day, and the fact that he's so focused on the presence, what he has to do, and he has a genuine will to help the team in whatever role he has.
Gyokeres' start in North London was anything but easy. He arrived as a marquee signing, and the expectations were immediate, but the output didn't match the noise. In the first half of the season, he scored just 5 goals, only 2 from open play, across 20 matches, starting 17 of them. With Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz injured, all the pressure fell on him on the pitch and off it. Every missed chance was amplified, every quiet game dissected.
I've done a lot of Arsenal this season. I was there on Thursday night, and Thursday night I think was the most pronounced for me in that there were 3 times that the ball flashed across the box. I think particularly from a Timber header back was the one that really stands out to me. And Gyokeres was nowhere near it. It felt like he was 5 yards behind the play. We've seen a lot of classic number 9s from Ian Wright to Gary Lineker talk about how if you're a striker in that sort of situation, you've actually got to gamble on your movement to put yourself in there. That is obviously an issue, especially given Gyokeres was signed as a more traditional number.
In Arsenal's first 9 Premier League matches, Gyokeres played the full 90 minutes in 7 of them, before a muscle injury on matchday 10 disrupted his rhythm and opened the door for Mikel Merino to lead the line. It wasn't until recent weeks that Mikel Arteta finally had the luxury of rotating between Havertz, Jesus and Gyokeres, and that changed everything. Since the turn of the year, no Premier League player has scored more goals across all competitions than Viktor Gyokeres.
But equally, he's got an important part to play in that team. And, those that want him to be on the subs bench, they got that yesterday, and Jesus started, and he didn't have a great performance. Gyokeres will score in all competitions, not the Premier League, 23, 24 goals this season.
The 27-year-old has 8 goal involvements in his last 8 matches. Yes, some will question the opposition. Kairat Almaty should be beaten. Leeds and Sunderland are tough, but still games Arsenal expect to win. But Gyokeres didn't just score there, he also delivered against Chelsea and Inter Milan. When the margins were tight and the pressure real, the goal against Milan was telling. It mirrored his second goal against Sunderland. Defenders pressing, space minimal, chaos everywhere, yet Gyokeres attacked the moment with conviction. Different finishes, same instinct. Crucially, he was fresher, coming off the bench. And that might be the key. With Jesus and Havertz back, Arteta may have unlocked Gyokeres' most dangerous role, not as a constant starter in possession-heavy games, but as an impact weapon. Arsenal rarely play in a way that allows him to constantly run in behind from the start because they dominate territory and face low blocks. But in tight matches, when Arsenal absorb pressure and then break, a fresh Gyokeres leading the line is terrifying. In those moments, there's no one else in this squad Arteta would rather have charging into open space. Gyokeres is not going to repeat the absurd numbers he posted at Sporting 97 goals in 102 appearances, and no one inside Arsenal ever expected that. That was never the point. What Arsenal needed was something far more specific and far more painful to find. A striker who lives in the right place, at the right time, when games turn ugly and margins disappear. Someone who turns dominance into goals. The numbers tell a brutal story. Last season, Arsenal recorded their worst win percentage under Mikel Arteta across the last 4 campaigns, even worse than 2021-2022, the year they finished 5th and missed the Champions League entirely. In the league, the Gunners won just 20 matches, barely 50% of their fixtures. And here is the key detail. Of the 18 games they failed to win, 10 of them, 55%, came against teams that dropped deep, blocked space in the final third and allowed Arsenal to dominate possession above 60% without consequence. The ball circulated, the pressure built, but there was no killer. No one to attack the 6-yard box, no one to punish hesitation, no one to turn territorial control into 3 points.
Odegaard. White!
Luck against Araujo again. In for Trossard!
What can he do here? Cuts inside. Shoot.
With Gyokeres, that problem is no longer theoretical, it's being solved in real time. His goals against Sunderland were the perfect snapshot of what Arsenal have been missing for years. And that's exactly where this story really begins. Ugly but ruthless, that is where Viktor Gyokeres starts to change everything. His first goal against Sunderland was not pretty at all. He was falling, off balance, almost scrambling, but the ball ended up in the net. And that moment matters more than it looks. Because this season Gyokeres keeps doing exactly that. Being in the right place when games break down. We saw it against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup first leg, simply tapping in when chaos hit the box. We saw it twice against Atletico Madrid, the first after reacting faster than everyone else to a loose deflected shot from Eze, spinning his body in a split second and finishing almost by instinct. The second was even less orthodox, a close-range recenter, finished with his body rather than technique, but it counted all the same. Then there was the header in the 6-yard box against Burnley, simple, brutal, decisive. These goals might not trend on social media, but Arsenal suffered massively last season precisely because no one was scoring them. Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz are intelligent, generous, tactically useful players, but neither naturally lives in the box. Both prefer to drop deep or drift wide, which left the 6-yard area empty when Saka, Rice or Timber delivered low crosses. The result was alarming. Arsenal finished the season with just 18 touches by their striker inside the 6-yard box, a figure beaten by several mid-table forwards. What used to be a sharp, vertical, one-touch attacking team slowly turned into a possession-heavy machine with no punch. Without a fully fit Calafiori to invert and overload central areas, Rice was isolated, circulation became sideways, and low blocks reset comfortably. The numbers almost read like a parody of dominance without outcome. Average possession at 68%, 564 completed passes per match, 14.3 shots per game, 1.6 expected goals yet only 10 goals scored, conceding 11 with an expected goal-to-goal conversion of just 0.63. That is not title-winning output. Arsenal dropped 21 points from winning positions, repeatedly failing to kill games. Havertz's inconsistency, including high-profile misses like the one against Manchester City, became a symbol of the problem. Gyokeres changes the equation. His instinctive positioning, quicker decision-making, and natural hunger for the 6-yard box instantly raise Arsenal's floor. Unlike Havertz drifting wide, Gyokeres attacks space aggressively, finishes faster, and produces higher goals per shot and goals per 90. His constant channel runs stretch defences vertically, forcing errors and creating panic, exactly what Arsenal need to win tight games. And the examples that prove it are just getting started. At his core, Viktor Gyokeres offers 3 complete dimensions that directly raise Arsenal's attacking level, especially in front of goal. First, elite chance conversion.
Strike on that occasion, cuts inside,
Good delivery!
Second, a hugely underrated ability to create and connect play. And third, a clear influence on the players around him during games. Together, these three elements explain why Gyokeres is not just scoring goals, but changing how Arsenal function as a team. The biggest separator is elite chance conversion. What makes Viktor Gyokeres different from many modern strikers is not just how often he scores, but how he scores. Unlike Erling Haaland, who thrives on a constant supply of high-quality chances inside dominant attacking teams, Gyokeres has built his reputation by turning imperfect situations into goals. He does not need the perfect cutback or tap-in to hurt you. More than 50% of his shots hit the target, a number that speaks to ruthless efficiency, calm decision-making, and elite finishing consistency. This places him among the most reliable finishers in European football. But elite conversion is not only about frequency, it is about variety and difficulty. Gyokeres scores goals that Arsenal simply did not have last season. Goals when the game is tight. Goals when space is limited. Goals when defenders are set. He is the type of striker who turns territorial dominance into actual scoreboard damage. And that is exactly what Arteta's Arsenal have been missing. His presence gives Arsenal a reliable final action, the missing piece in a project that already controls territory, tempo and chance creation. Crucially, Gyokeres is at his best when receiving the ball-facing goal on the half-turn or attacking space with momentum. The tactical challenge for Arteta has been to build structures that consistently generate those moments. Rotations, decoy runs, and coordinated movements are now designed to free Gyokeres just enough to receive, drive, and destabilise defensive lines. When Arsenal succeed in doing that, the outcome is devastating. We saw it against Kairat Almaty when Havertz released Gyokeres against the last line. Once facing the goalkeeper, the Swede exploded into space, carried the ball at full speed to the edge of the box, and finished with power and placement. We saw the same pattern against Inter Milan when Martinelli's brilliant Trivela sent Gyokeres racing from deep. He went shoulder to shoulder with the final defender, played an almost accidental 1-2 with Saka, and from the edge of the area finished with sublime technique. His ability to attack space was also clear against Sunderland, accelerating from midfield and arriving first to push the ball home. Another brutal example came against Olympiacos, where Gyokeres powered through two defenders, got the shot away, and Martinelli only had to tap in the rebound after the damage was already done. And it is not just power. Gyokeres also delivers elite-level placement and self-created finishes. Against Leeds, he practically built the goal himself, collecting the ball wide near the halfway line, carrying it diagonally into his shooting lane, and finishing with composure and quality. Power, precision, timing and instinct. That is elite chance conversion. And for Arsenal, it changes everything. Let's move into the next block, because this is where Gyokeres becomes far more than just a goal scorer. When it comes to build-up and chance creation, it's important to be precise. His passing accuracy is solid, but not elite, sitting around 73%. And he is not a deep-lying playmaker or a pure creator like Harry Kane, who regularly threads killer passes from central zones. Gyokeres' game is different. He thrives on disguised short passes, quick layoffs, sharp touches under pressure, and subtle movements that set the table for others, rather than delivering the final defense-splitting ball himself. And yet, the output is quietly elite. In the league, he averages around 15 accurate passes per match, which translate into roughly 1.9 key passes per game. That is outstanding efficiency. Even more impressive, in last season's Champions League, he averaged 2.1 key passes from just 14.4 accurate passes per game. To put that into perspective, Kylian Mbappe produced 1.1 key passes from 19.5 accurate passes per match, and Harry Kane averaged 1.8 key passes from 17.2 accurate passes per game, both while playing in more dominant teams. Gyokeres does more with less, and that efficiency is exactly what Arsenal need from their number 9. This is why Gyokeres feels like a hybrid striker. He combines the instincts of a classic number 9, the chance creation impact of an elite midfielder, and the ball-carrying power of a winger. That profile makes him exceptionally valuable for a team like Arsenal, who don't just need goals from their striker, but also connection, movement, and creativity in tight games. We saw a perfect example of this against Burnley. Gyokeres built the entire move himself, carrying the ball from his own half, crossing the midfield line, lifting his head and switching play perfectly to Trossard. From there, the move continued. The ball was worked wide, a precise cross was delivered and Declan Rice arrived to finish the move. The goal starts and ends with Gyokeres' intelligence and execution. Now look at how he has improved the players around him, especially Kai Havertz. Instead of replacing Gyokeres as the main striker, Havertz has mostly operated from midfield since returning to the team. His profile is very different from Martin Ødegaard or Eberechi Eze. Havertz often acts as a second striker, making late runs into the box and moving beyond Gyokeres, rather than dropping deep to dictate play. This is a sharp contrast to Ødegaard, who prefers to come short, control tempo and receive between the lines. That dynamic often left Gyokeres isolated earlier in the season, with Havertz connecting play higher up and attacking space. Gyokeres is free to focus on what he does best, scoring goals. Havertz has assisted Gyokeres twice in the last 4 matches, while Ødegaard is yet to register an assist for the Swede this season. The chemistry is clear. The clearest example came last weekend when Havertz slipped the ball perfectly into Gyokeres' path, allowing him to fire a powerful finish into the near post. It was the finish of a confident striker, the kind of goal you wouldn't have expected from him just a month ago. And now, the numbers from this season tell the full story. In the 2025-2026 Premier League campaign, Gyokeres has played 23 games, scored 8 goals, created 12 chances, registered 14 shots on target, completed 183 passes, and won 20 fouls. These aren't flashy stats for a striker, but they show constant involvement, physical presence and contribution across every phase of play. Put all of this together, and the picture is clear. Gyokeres is now scoring, creating, linking play, and elevating those around him. He has more goals in all competitions in 2026 than any other Premier League player, and Arsenal are suddenly finding multiple attacking solutions instead of relying on one pattern. For title rivals, that should be genuinely worrying.